Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 265 spoilers were set to finally reveal what Yuji Itadori's domain expansion is, why Ryomen Sukuna was in Yuji-kuna form, and more. The official English translation has been scheduled for release on Monday, August 5, 2024, at 12 a.m. JST in Shueisha's Weekly Shonen Jump issue 35. The previous chapter began with Hana Kurusu Angel's return to battle. Despite firing Jacob's ladder at full output, losing a limb affected the power of her attack as Sukuna countered. Following a jarring black flash, both Todo and Hana were rendered unable to continue. Moreover, 2 consecutive black flashes replenished Sukuna's reverse curse technique through which he regenerated his lost arms. But this is where Yuji jumped in, exchanging blows with the Demon King and finally uttering the words, "Domain Expansion." Titled The Day, Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 265 spoilers begin with Yuji Itadori and Ryomen Sukuna strolling through a city. The latter realizes that this whole scenario is a rare phenomenon conjured up when Yuji connects with his opponent during a battle. As it stands, Yuji himself did not know what or where they were. He was desperate to have a word with the Demon King and thus brought them there. Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 265 spoilers depict the pair walking through an underground passage, as Yuji reminisces about his childhood with Sukuna. The teen was born in Sendai, and lived in the place he and Sukuna are currently until he was 6 to 7 years old before moving back to Sendai given his grandfather, Wasuke's work. He continues, explaining that he returned 10 years later to attend his grandfather's friend's funeral. As per Yuji, the drop in the number of people surprised him. He wondered if the person spoken about would do the same had Wasuke passed away first. The pair then walked to the park where Yuji used to play. The teen notes that all the equipment had vanished, and recounts a funny memory where he thought he would die when he got his foot stuck in a swing. Further, that park was where Yuji dropped his slime in the sand and cried when it flowed down the drain as he tried to wash it. The pair then spot a flower, an ajacai, which Sukuna recognizes correctly, thereby surprising Yuji. The boy grows curious as to how the King of Curses knew about flowers. In response, Sukuna says he got the information from Megumi Fushigiro's memories. Putting 2 and 2 together, Yuji guessed that Sukuna might be familiar with the place they were in, but Sukuna rebuked him by saying that he was disinterested in useless memories. The pair then go to catch crawfish. Both catch one each and begin fighting over whose was better. The 2 then walked over to a department store, which at the time, had decommissioned the other independent stores around. Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 265 spoilers then show Yuji and Sukuna in a field, where the former used to catch locusts as a child. They were on a farm that Wasuke would take Yuji to visit occasionally. Yuji recalls eating the place's ice cream so much that he threw up. As Sukuna remarks that even then he was brainless, Yuji urges him to do some archery. Due to his experience in the Heian era, Sukuna shoots a perfect 10. The scene then transitions to little boy Yuji as he narrates to Sukuna how he used to shovel when it snowed and his love for hot milk tea. One Christmas, as a child, he heard bells at night and nearly believed that Santa Claus existed only to find out it was chains on a car. Finally, Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 265 spoilers show Sukuna getting fed up with all the talk and demands that Yuji get to the point. The boy begins by saying that he used to think that understanding and fulfilling his role was the meaning of life and hence through that, one could die the right way. But this thinking had changed, one's role could be anything, even as trivial as walking their dog. Here, the faces of Nanami, Junpei, Naobito, Gojo, Nobara, and Choso flash into the scene. As per Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 265 spoilers, the value of a person's life lies in the fragments of memories, even if they are smaller than the memories that shape a person. Good or bad doesn't determine humanity. Yuji further states that he couldn't forgive those who disregarded this value and believed that humans weren't tools whose roles were determined from the onset. As per the Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 265 spoilers, Yuji aimed to alert Sukuna of the people he disvalued. Sukuna retorts by establishing that he felt nothing, despite hearing Yuji's long explanation. He just accepted things, like how Yuji accepted the decline in the city's population. Hearing this, Yuji realizes that he has failed, asking Sukuna if he really despised him to that extent. Sukuna realizes something. Yuji was pitying him, showing him sympathy. Intriguingly, as Sukuna speaks, we see a Buddha statue nearby. Yuji's eyes then turn hostile, demanding that he release Megumi in exchange for Sukuna's life. Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 265 spoilers end with an enraged Sukuna threatening to kill Yuji and everyone he held dear.